What is up guys, today I am going to be going through the insane new 1095 chapter full spoilers, and let me tell you. We get a lot of good stuff in here, such as God Valley and Luffy's mum, which is stuff we have been waiting for years, and a lot of other hype stuff as well. So with further ado, let's start the chapter. The title is Chapter 1095, A World Not Worth Living In. And this is just such a hype name for such a hype chapter, and it is not like the previous chapters which are all like St. Saturn, but this one has meaning behind it. But I won't spend more time on this, and let's go to the cover page, and it is a reader request, and it is showing a monkey taking away Buggy's nose and runs away, which is just funny as Buggy D Clown is always made fun of cause of his nose, and Monkey D Luffy and a monkey. Makes a lot of sense, as well as Luffy violates his nose, and so is the monkey, and maybe Buggy used his power or something. But let's go on to the actual chapter. It starts with the vice admirals preparing to help Saint Saturn, but Saturn orders them to stand down. Saturn says that he could easily dodge Bonnie's attack if he wanted to. Saturn pulls out the sword of his body and his blood disappears. We are not winning this fight. We are not winning this fight. I know Bonnie is weak as hell, but when someone just takes off the sword like that, similar to Whitebeard, we know we are due for some action, and he is also undamaged, which is idk. But to be honest, who thought that Saturn would be damaged by a Bonnie like that is just disrespecting the man. But next up we see that Saturn attacks Bonnie and Sanji by emitting aura from his eyes. Bonnie and Sanji are knocked in the head and some blood comes out. But their head doesn't explode. This sounds very crazy, as he just gave them a lot of headache, but Bonnie is fine if he just damaged her, as she is not a good fighter. But attacking Sanji now, that is someone strong, and if he is able to damage him with that attack, I mean, what can I say but that he is really strong. And then next Kizaru apologizes to Saturn. He's still on the ground, unable to move. Saturn says that your work is unusually slow this time. I mean, this is such a good line by Saturn, as he is used to Kizaru being very quick, but this time it shows that Luffy is not someone to take lightly, and that he stopped Kizaru from his mission, and Saturn is noting that. And I mean, he should have known that Kizaru is not beating Luffy, which I mean does not take someone strong to figure out. And then we go on to Saturn tries to stop on Luffy, but Freaky extends his arm and saves his captain. Luffy is still conscious, but he doesn't say anything in this chapter. Vegapunk, Bonnie, Sanji and Frankie are unable to move due to Saturn's mysterious power. I don't know what to say. Saturn seems to have this mysterious power that allows him to do whatever he wants, but this is a lot. Far as Sanji is unable to move is a very impressive feat, and that he tried to stomp Luffy is also showing that he knows what he is after and knows what he is doing. And Luffy is still conscious but doesn't say anything in the chapter. He is not the type of person to not say anything, so could it be that Saturn is using his power to stop him from speaking or something like that? I mean, I am just guessing, so leave a comment below why you think Luffy is not speaking. Vegapunk then says if this is not a scientific power, then this must be a devil fruit ability. Which I mean, that's a good observation, but Saturn being the god of science and Vegapunk saying this might mean that it isn't a devil fruit power but something else. Anyways, we see that Saturn grabs Bonnie and squeezes her. Bonnie says, "You killed my father." We see a little flashback of Kuma telling young Bonnie about Nika. Kuma makes Nike's drum rhythm sound and they dance together. Kuma then says, "Bonnie, I want to be a hero who liberates people like Nika." What can I say? It is just insane that Kuma knew about sun god Nika and wanted to be like him, and a little sad that he is currently a slave. But then we go back to the present. Saturn says Kuma is part of the Buccaneer race, the people who once committed a crime in the past. The Buccaneer race seems to have blood of giants, making them unusually strong. I mean, that is just so good because it explains Kuma's size and why he is in such a position. And then we go on to the hype stuff. A new flashback takes place 47 years ago in the Sorbet Kingdom. Kuma was born in a normal family. His father was a member of the Buccaneer race and his mother was a normal human. The information about Kuma's blood test was leaked to a world government agent at the hospital. So Kuma's entire family was captured and became slaves in Mary Geos due to their strength. After his mother's death, Kuma's father tells him about the legend of Nika. Kuma's father says it's a legend that has been passed down among Buccaneer races. Kuma's father makes Nika's drum rhythm sound and starts dancing for Kuma, but he was suddenly shot in the head by a celestial dragon for making too much noise. Wow! Oda is killing a person in the same panel. And all this information about them turning into slaves explains why Kuma is a slave right now, and just the thought of them killing someone for making too much noise is just making our blood boil and making our hatred for celestial dragons grow. Then we go back. Cut to 38 years ago. The celestial dragon MC explains that once every 3 years, the dragons come down from Mary Geos and conduct a human hunting game on a non-government island. The CS releases problematic slaves onto the island and wipes them out along with the native people on the island. After that, the world government claims the island as their own. I am speechless, as this is just full up crazy, and they claim that island as their own. I don't know what to say. Let's move on. The island that the CS chose for that year was God Valley in the West Blue. The land with many valuable resources that dare to use the word God in its name. The king of God Valley tried to stop them but was killed by Saint Figuredland Garling. This year's game hasn't started yet. But Garling is the one that the CS expects to be the champion/king. Young Garling was very handsome, with half-moon hair, no beard. Many CS are swooning over him. Saturn is in God Valley as well. He looks exactly the same as in the present. Saturn receives words that the buccaneer child slave who escaped was captured. I mean, what can I say from Garling being just like Shanks, and when we were introduced equal said he was the king of God Valley from Saturn not aging, which completely proves the theory that the Grossi don't age and that this is such hype stuff. Last page of the chapter, we see that Kuma is being dragged in the field by other slaves. This part is the continuation of the flashback Bonnie, say in chapter 1074. Then suddenly 2 shadows appear. Mysterious person says HEEHAW, hold it right there you guys. You must be the Buccaneer, the star of this. I see what they mean, you're indeed huge. They say the blood of giants runs within you. We can see that the 2 mysterious shadows are 2 child slaves, a young Emporio Ivankov and a named Ginny. Ivankov looks pretty similar to her adult appearance. Junie is a short-haired smiling girl that is eating a piece of meat. Ginny says, isn't my big bro here huge too? Just the face though. Wait, that's not the point here you dummy. Ivankov talks to Kuma and says, I choose to live. What about you? End of chapter. Break next week. I am speechless, and this is such a good chapter, so make sure to comment your thoughts on this, and I mean I have lost all words, and next week is looking forward to being a continuation. I mean I am speechless. That is all from me, and I will see you guys in the main chapter review in 2 days. Bye bye.